Does it feel good to be in the studio?
It feels so good to be in the studio and just to be able to like be in public-ish work wise, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
I wish I was there with you. That would be so much more fun.
I know, hopefully next time you are here right next to me, and that means that hopefully you'll be also performing here soon. So that will be exciting. That will be super exciting. But back to the song on WNCI's New at 9 Till Forever Falls Apart. So you and Finneas collabed on that. But it's not just that you guys collabed on it. You guys are actually like really good friends in real life, right?
Yeah, he's my babe. Yeah, we've been friends. I think now it's been like just over 4 years now. We met. I thought we met in a writing session, but he remembered that we actually met in like the middle of a crosswalk. He was like leaving a coffee shop, and I was going to that coffee shop. And I think it's really cute that he actually remembers that because I totally forgot. And I was like, "You love me. I knew it." But yeah, we've just been, we're always really close. And when we first met, I happened to be going through one of, the toughest times in my life. I was going through a divorce. And so he was there like, all right, I'm here for you. And I'm signing up for whatever craziness is going on in your life. And I think it just really bonded us. And yeah.
Yeah, because this is not the first time that you guys have worked together. He's helped like produce some of your other EPs and also obviously a little bit on the new album as well with your guys' song. How different is it to be able to have like a friend like Finneas? Because I feel like a lot of artists in the industry, they don't have like that safe space of or like an ally where they can really trust another person. How do you think that's helped you grow as an artist?
Ooh, an ally. That was a good word. Good word to use. He's definitely been an ally. I'm so grateful, and I feel really lucky to have people like him, and people along the way. Like when I got to do, Moral of the Story with Niall, it was like that was such an experience of like someone who's been in the business for a really long time, but he really, really cares. And so I know all these stories, like horror stories from other people of like either collaborating with someone and it didn't work out or they didn't vibe, or people sort of like, it's a very competitive industry, So some people are like jumping on top of each other to get ahead. And I've been so lucky to have just amazing people in my life, and it makes a huge difference having them, as allies. Finneas is also incredibly honest with me. He'll tell it like it is. If he doesn't like something, he'll tell me, and vice versa. I'm like, you're not God just because you have 5 Grammys, 6 Grammys, 6. Sorry. But yeah, we're super real with each other, and it's such a good vibe. And yeah,
that is super cool. So when you guys were starting to write Till Forever Falls Apart, how was that process like?
I wrote the bulk of the record the day before we were ordered to go into lockdown. So this is like March last year. And we literally were like on the edge of our seat. Like, do we go to the studio today? Is it okay if we go into the studio? And but the lockdown hadn't kind of like hit yet. And we were like, let's go in for today and we'll suss out tomorrow. And then sure enough, we finished that session, which was writing, the beginning of Till Forever Falls Apart. And then the, governor of California is like, sorry, you can't leave your house. And we're like, okay. I feel so grateful that that song was written. Like, I would have been so sad if that didn't get its shot. But anyways, a couple months later, we sent it over to Finn, and he was just like, I love this record and I'd love to be a part of it. He muted the second verse, didn't even listen to it. He was like, I'm not going to listen to it because I don't want you to influence my writing. And he wrote his own, and it was better than what I wrote. And I was like, screw you.
Hey, that's what being BFFs is all about. So who wrote the line, I guess there's nothing more romantic than dying with your friends?
That was Finneas O'Connell. I know. It's my favorite line of the song, and I didn't write it. I was like, I literally wrote basically the entire song except for that. And I was like, oh, I hate you for having my favorite lyric. That's just how it goes.
We've been living on a fault line. That's my favorite.
That was me.
That's a 1 point for you.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
I love that because it's like, you know, fault line, earthquake, we're about to separate, right?
Well, and you know, totally. I mean, and I live in California. I was born and raised Northern California, and I grew up on the San Andreas.
Oh, wow.
And which is like ready to go off any day or something. And I think our relationship is so similar to that. You know, we build a city on top of a fault line. We build this like love, and it's so fragile, and you know, at any moment it could kind of give out. So
yeah. I literally have goosebumps. I'm done.
Thanks.
So I have to ask, I watched the behind the scenes making of Till Forever Falls Apart, and oh my gosh, I love the fact that you guys did kind of like an interpretive dance. It was like enough said. You didn't have to really do anything else besides the powerful dancing. You said you guys did not rehearse that together. Did you at least rehearse it by yourself, because you guys killed it?
Thanks. So I went into the studio with the choreographer, Monica Smith. She was amazing. I went in on Monday. We filmed on a Saturday. I went in on Monday. Finn zoomed into the rehearsal. So he was there virtually like this. Okay. And it was like a 2 or 3 hour rehearsal. And then we just, basically tried to rehearse that week apart. And then the first day that we finally danced together was the day we shot the video, which was so stupid. So stupid. I don't know what we were thinking.
It was adorable. Where was this shot at? It like looked deserty.
It was, I want to say Malibu. Were we in Malibu? I think we went up there. There's like some really cool like plateaus that overlook the mountains, and it was also just the windiest day we could have picked in the history of ever. And my hair was just like this I don't know how it turned out so good, because every take felt like it was crazy.
It is just so good. I want to keep watching it on repeat.
Thank you. I'm really proud. I am really proud of that video.
It's very unique. It's just like it's simple, but it's not. And it's like I said, it's like enough said. It's just like you can already tell what you're trying to say just by the movements of everything. So that was really unique.
Oh, thanks, man. That's nice.
So let's go back in time to moral of the story, 2019. I want to go back to it because it is
I have it down there. Subtle flex.
Who is that? I can't see.
Oh, it's my moral of the story plaque.
Oh, okay. So the lighting was like, okay, back in the back right there.
No. Yeah.
Oh, you have it with you ready to hang it up. I love that.
I know. I'm ready to put it up. I'm like, it's so cute.
So that originally dropped in 2019. You said that song was validating for you. Can you elaborate?
Yeah. Well, I think it was validating because I don't sound like everybody else. I think, every artist has their sort of unique take on music and how they use all the colors and the palette and all that. But, you know, I always felt like, I was like, shoot, like maybe I'm always going to just be in this sort of indie lane where the cool hipster kids are going to find me, but like that wasn't going to hit this mainstream world because I'm so specific. You know, in moral of the story, there's that lyric that's like, talking with my lawyer, she said, where'd you find this guy? And
I love that line.
You know, thank you. But it's like pop radio is gonna play that I was talking to my divorce attorney, you know. And I think I was really I mean, how does it get more validating than the world saying, yeah, please more of that. Say more of your story and get specific, and we're going to put it on pop radio.
And it did so good. Not only did it go on pop radio, but it did so good that they wanted to have a collaboration on the track. And then Niall Horan came into the mix. And this is a fan question from Maddie. She slid into the DM. She was super excited that we were chatting today. She wanted to know how the collaboration with Niall happened.
Ooh. So I have this wonderful human at, she was my like point person at Cobalt, which is my publishing company. And she left me to be the senior vice president of A&R at Capitol Records. Like, I was like, don't go. But also senior vice president of A&R.
Okay. Yes, you go.
I get it. Yeah, her name's Amanda Sammy, and she is just like the most kick butt lady. And she is on Niall Horan's project. And so as soon as she got over there, pretty quickly, she was like, I got to send this to Niall. Is that cool? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. I don't even care. Whatever. You know?
Just let me know what he thinks.
Fine, sure. And he heard it, and like by like the miracle gods, he was like, this record is dope. I would love to sing on it. And I'm like, what? Why? What? It was like, the whole thing has been nothing but surprising, you know? And yeah, so he sang on it, and I wake up at like 5 a.m. every morning, and he was in London. So it was kind of the perfect timing. We'd have like 5 a.m. FaceTimes like every other day, just to sort of like get to know each other. And that's how we wrote the second verse. He wrote the second verse. I was like on FaceTime watching him, starstruck. Like,
you're like, yeah, you're good. I'm just watching.
I kept trying to think of something genius. And I was like, well, I already wrote basically the whole song. So I'm just going to not think about it.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I read that you were like kind of giving him free range on his part. What was your favorite thing that he did with the song?
Ooh, probably the paper house line, because he has a song, Paper Houses. And I just knew it was going to connect with his fan base already. And I was like, ooh, yes, get detailed. And yeah, the lyric he wrote was, we burned down our paper house. And in my original second verse, I talk about painting my first house with my ex.
Yes.
And how that's what my grandparents did. And it was really sweet. And so it was cool that he was like, I want to incorporate what you originally wrote about this like meaningful house moment, but pull it into my world.
Tell me why the second you said you just painted your new studio, that I literally thought about that line where you said you were painting with your ex. So now it's like a do-over. You get to just do it the way you want by yourself, girl.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you know, and the first thing I do, you know, is settle in. I'm such a nester that I had to get some paint on the walls and make it feel like home. Yeah. But I'm not doing it with a man this time.
No. Living alone is, it's so fun. It's so fun. Okay, so about to jump into the amazing news of your new album, Ashlyn. Oh my gosh, this is so huge for you. This is the moment that you've been working towards basically since you were 8 years old and started, you know, singing and songwriting. I read that you are really, really letting it all out with all of your emotions, your blood, sweat, and tears. Before we jump into the bones of the album, would you say that moral of the story helped unlock some of your songwriting depths to then push you into different realms that maybe you didn't want to talk about before?
Yeah, 100%. That's a really good question. Yeah, you know, and it kind of goes back to the validating question about, you know, when the world kind of tells you, talk about hard stuff, we're going to like respond with great job, you know, and we want more of that. It was definitely like I wasn't second guessing myself, you know, writing basically the whole album was like this therapeutic experience of just like, I'm going to say whatever I want to say. And no, not everyone's going to love every song. There's that funny, don't want to be everyone's cup of tea, want to be someone's shot of whiskey or something like that.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Side note, can't drink whiskey. Like, no.
Vodka drinker, so.
Yes.
Thoughts all day, girl.
I like a nice mojito, some white rum, you know?
Yes, but you know what's funny? I always do the mojitos with vodka instead.
No way.
Yes, it's good.
What? That's probably called something else, huh? What's that
Probably.
called?
They're looking at me like, what is your problem? Are you really 21? I'm like, yeah, I'm 28. I just don't know my cocktails.
Wait, you look 14. I know that you're not 14.
I'm literally older than you.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
I was born in 92. You were born in 93, right?
Yes. I turned 28 in like a week and a half.
Oh my gosh. So this album is literally the best birthday gift to yourself.
I think so. Yeah, and it's cool that it's Nate, you know, it's Ashlyn. Yeah, feels I don't know. It feels really, really special. Man, I hope people like it because that will suck.
Oh my God. Don't even go there. Do not even go there. It's going to be amazing. I think right now we all need like a piece of work that is just so centered around feeling things, because this past year has been difficult for so many. We need that sense of honesty, especially right now when everyone's trying to be like, oh, I want to go out and have fun. I want to do this. Like, people are going to need something to come back to, you know.
Yeah, well, and there's different sort of artists for different purposes and different moods, you know. You're not going to always go to you're not going to put moral of the story on at a pool party while you're like playing flip cup. Like, no. Right. there's a time and a place in a world. Yeah, for sure. And so, yeah, I think when someone puts on my album, they're putting it on because they're driving down the PCH or they're on a long drive and they've got heat on their toes and the windows are down. Maybe it's raining, maybe it's sunny, but it's like it's a mood, you know. We're not at a pool party probably.
Yes, of course. Time and place for everything. We all have time to just decompress, and that's the perfect album to put on and just recharge, or really whatever anyone is doing to kind of just get centered, you know?
Yeah.
This is really huge, Ash. I am really impressed. Your first debut album and you're co-producing it. Wow.
So I know, I'm so stoked.
It's huge. And so for people who don't really know what co-producing means, what does that mean?
So we went into the studio starting like probably January 2020. I think there might have been one song that kind of snuck in from the year before. I'm not sure. But I went in with my co-producer, Leroy Clampett, and I had a vision for how I wanted the entire album to sound. And it was kind of like I was the conductor, you know. There was this sound and this vision. And so he'd be in the sort of driver's seat. And I was like, okay, let's pull in these colors and let's pull in these colors and run to the piano and be like, those chords aren't right. They need to be dum, dum, dum instead of da, da. And so it's kind of like being the conductor of the orchestra. And we had very different roles in our co-producing realm, but it was really cool. At the end of writing the album, we sent it to Manny Marroquin, who's like the world top mixer in the music industry. I was like, why do you want to mix my album? That's crazy. We sent it to him, and then Leroy and I got on a FaceTime, and he was like, listen, Ash, I talked to my manager, and we feel very strongly that you are a co-producer on this album. And he was like, I would feel stupid if my name was up there alone under executive producer. And I was like, I totally started crying. I was like, and also was like, hell yeah. I was like, you're right. Like we did this together and I executively produced this with you. You know, it was like it was so validating and sweet. And it was this unforgettable sort of like, I was kicking stuff out of my ears. Really unforgettable moment. And yeah, so co-produced my album.
Wow, how incredibly special. Do you have a favorite song off the album?
They're all my children. I don't know.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, that's like what every artist says, right? I don't know. You know, there's a record called Me Without You that is very sassy and very personal. And so yeah, that's probably, and it's one of the most unique productions on it. It's like the whole chorus is just like strings and a vocal, and it's just like raw and and cool. um yeah, so that's probably my favorite, but I don't know, that's hard to choose.
Oh, I'm so excited. The official track list, you haven't dropped it yet, have you?
No, so that was a little something.
No, I do what I can to get the exclusive scoop for your fans.
You know, fans have found it though. I think they've already like scoured the internet, somehow have found the track list. So I was gonna like do this big track list reveal, and I think fans have already figured it out.
Impatient, right? But hey, it's
They're
they love you.
sneaky.
They are. Okay, so real quick, this is so random. When I was doing all of my, research and stuff, I came across the fact that you helped Demi Lovato write the song "You Don't Do It For Me Anymore." Girl, I'm gonna start crying right now. That is one of my favorite songs ever, and to know that like you helped write, I'm like, okay, that makes so much sense now because it is like so much of that emotion, that heartbreak. That song can make you go from being, oh my gosh, everything's fine, to like, never mind, I need to go cry in a tunnel.
Never mind, I'm so not fine. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I just have to know what it was like to work together and how that even happened and everything like that.
You know, it's funny. We have this like joke amongst songwriters that you never get a good song or a good like a cut, like an artist is going to cut your song at a writing camp. Like writing camps are notoriously like you go and you write a bunch of songs and never does an artist take the song. It's like it's comical, and labels and publishers will pay for these writing camps that no one ever gets a cut from. So we were like, why are we even here? But they're fun, and it's like you're drinking and you're writing songs, and it's like everyone's in a different room writing. It's like it's a fun energy. But I was being sort of like courted by a publisher 4 or 5 years ago. Yikes. I've been doing this for a long time. And we were in a writing room, and it was me, Chloe Angelides, and this other writer, Gladius. And we actually were writing it because we thought it would be like a duet between her and Nick Jonas. And isn't that crazy?
I love it.
And, but then we were like, oh no, this record is so about like a relationship with sort of like substance abuse.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, and by the gods, the song, found Demi, and she loved it and related to it and cut the record.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that little tidbit, because that song has just so much it's very personal and I love it. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. I have that plaque sitting next to me too.
Oh, pass it over here. I'm just kidding.
She just chucks it.
So you've gotten your feet wet with touring. You've been on the road with Love. You've been on the road with the Chainsmokers. Can your fans expect you to be on the road anytime in the future?
Oh yeah. It's time to get back out there. We're still, I think, sorting the dates, but very soon We'll be planning on going back out on the road. And yeah, I went through the craziest time in my career in the middle of a pandemic. So I never got to hear people sort of scream moral of the story at me, or, Till Forever Falls Apart live is going to be nuts.
It's gonna be nuts.
What? Like the belting part at the end and like the energy in the room, it's gonna be crazy. So yeah, I'll be out on the road soon.
I cannot wait. Hopefully you stop here in Columbus because we would love to have you here. Thank you so much, Ashe. All of your fans can keep up with you on Instagram at Ashe Music. They can pre-save your songs, your album, get all the scoop on everything that's going on, right?
Yeah, of course. That's a good place to find me. And yeah, thanks so much for having me, Soul. You were super lovely and smile. I love a good smile. You've got an amazing smile.
You were so wonderful to talk to, and I'm so happy that we got to meet. And now I'm just excited to hopefully get you here in the 614 in the next couple months. That will be amazing.
I would love that. Call me. I'll be there. We'll drink vodka mojitos.
Yes, girl. I got you on the vodka mojitos. Let's do it.
All right. Sounds good.
Good luck. Happy birthday and congrats on the album.
Thank you. All right. I'll see you later.